the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders. They, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The Dolphins offense set to take over now. They've got it on this opening possession of the contest.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Cod Mw. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The receiving numbers for Kenny Stills in last week's game. 3 catches, 131 yards, and also the score.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's off to a hot start here in this first month, and those are the kind of performances you expect to see going forward.
Balaj. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Balaj. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the former Washington Husky, here's Myles Gaskin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 10 more there and another first down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's Gaskin, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. And I'm just wondering, Is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good. And this will remain. So here's the situation upcoming. Second quarter, 3rd down, and this defense just trying to force the field goal attempt. Now Carr again. And that is incomplete. So not much left here before we reach halftime as the offense is out there now hoping to put together a scoring drive before they head to the locker room. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And Stills bringing it in. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. From his linebacker's spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack. So we've come to halftime at a 5-point game. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A potential turning point in a 1-score game. What can this defense do as they look to hold on to their second-half lead? On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Just. Keeping this offense out of the end zone has to be considered a must here, as this defense can ill afford to go 2 scores down here in the second half. On 2nd down and 4, Carr, and that's complete to the tight end Hireman. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Bullock's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So he missed that field. So this offense now on the edge of the red zone at the 20. 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the delay, it's Balaj. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available.
Well, this defense already down on the scoreboard here in a one-score game. They need a stop. They need a quick stop. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. A big play there for the Dolphins. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Flushed out right. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Charles Clay in the final minute, and the Dolphins have taken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited.
This defense just one timeout left. This one all but over. as we take you down for the final moments. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Back to throw.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back to throw, Carr. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. And the intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs, and that'll bring up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Carr going to go on 4th down. And this is caught. He hits more. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for Miami, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. And for